Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It's great to have you with us again. I need to start this time with a story. Years ago, I was talking with a woman, actually a relative of mine, and she started telling me about a really interesting ministry idea that she had for her church group. And she talked about how this would work out, and she had kind of a good idea. And so I was impressed, and finally I said to her, I think that's a really good idea. You probably ought to do that. I really don't think anyone would get in your way if you wanted to start that ministry. And there was a long pause, and then she looked at me and said, well, I'm more of an idea person. Okay, look, we all have more ideas than we could ever execute. What we need is willing hands on the plow. And I think that's an appropriate story to start with because sometimes, believe it or not, congregations, both members and leaders within the congregation, can have some unrealistic expectations for the preacher and for his family, especially his wife. Some of those unrealistic expectations can seem like this. They expect that the preacher and his family would always be available to them, no matter what. Emergency, not emergency, just convenience, you're always available. A second thing, that any member has first call on the preacher's time and the family of the preacher's time. Another unrealistic expectation is that you're on call 24/7, whether it's an emergency or not. I've had people knock on my door at 11 o'clock at night wanting to put a potted plant in a church building. People just think that they have unlimited access to you. If you live in a parsonage, they may believe that they have access to that parsonage anytime, all the time, for whatever reason may seem good to them. And they may believe that your wife is unpaid co-staff for the church. Now, preachers, let me talk to you realistically for a moment because you may actually have some of those unrealistic expectations for yourself, your family, and your wife also. Don't fall for that. It is your responsibility to protect your family. Guys, it's your responsibility and no one else's. You need to be her shield from all of those kinds of things. Sometimes a preacher's wife is pressured to accept a ministry or a work that she really shouldn't be doing. Even if she works full-time, members and leaders may expect her to take on certain ministries. I think the top three that preachers' wives are expected to undertake. Number one, nursery duty. The preacher's wife ought to be thrilled to be in charge of the nursery and help with all those babies. Second, it ought to be the preacher's wife's responsibility to teach the ladies' Bible class. Well, not always, but many people think that that's the case. And finally, the third typical unrealistic expectation is that the preacher's wife will serve as the church secretary, taking care of all of the correspondence, printing of the bulletin, proofreading documents, returning correspondence, and so on. Okay, there's a solution for that, okay? The solution is really simple. Number one, neither of you must ever agree to take on a ministry without discussion and consultation and prayer with each other. You need to talk about this. Make sure that everybody knows what's happening. Any additional ministry or any additional work is going to require time and resources and energy and maybe money, and both of you need to be on the same page of the playbook with this. No surprises, okay? So first, there needs to be consultation, discussion, and prayer. The second thing is this. If, after consultation, discussion, and prayer, the preacher's wife decides she does want to take on one of those ministries, then she needs to do it and do it enthusiastically. Not half-heartedly, not grudgingly, but enthusiastically. If she decides no, she doesn't want to take on one of those ministries, then she needs to say so clearly and without guilt. To say so clearly is simply to say no. No excuses, no squirming, no hedging, no false hope held out. Be fair to the person who has asked you to take that on and just say, no, I can't do that. Why not? Well, here's where the guilt thing goes away. If it's not your gift mix, you shouldn't be doing it. We all need to work within our gifts, and it's not wrong for you to say, that's just not my gift mix. No one will be happy. This will not have a happy ending if I try to take this ministry on. This is just not right. If any of us ever tries to work outside of our gift mix, it's not going to have a happy ending. Look, if you work within your gifts, the sun will shine, the birds will sing, the flowers bloom, the grass will grow. Everybody will be happy and everything will work out well. If you try to work outside your gift mix, the flowers will die, the birds will fly south, you'll never see the sun again. It won't have a happy ending. You want to work within your gifts and make sure that everybody's happy that way. Now, I would love to hear your thoughts, your comments, and even your stories about some of these things if you'd like to share those in the comments. I've got some proactive steps, though, that I want to share with you about how to deal with this from the very beginning and avoid unhappiness here. Guys, it's your responsibility to take care of your family. Let's talk about these proactive steps to take. Okay, folks, look, it's always better to anticipate problems and act to solve them before they ever become problems. So here are some proactive ideas. Number one, talk about this stuff early. The two of you need to sit down, you and your wife need to sit down and talk about this. Discuss what are her gifts. She has gifts. God has granted all Christians gifts. What are they? What are her gifts? How does she intend to use those gifts? Recognize also that gifts can change over time. And what she is gifted to do now may not be the same thing she's gifted to do 5 years or 10 years from now. What is she willing to take on? And again, that may change also. She should be as involved as any Christian would be involved in the life and work of the church. No more and no less. She should be involved. But talk it out. Have this discussion early on. Get this settled in your own minds. Second thing, guys, schedule time on your calendar. Just schedule time with your spouse and with your children. It would be good if you had a standing appointment, say every Friday night you're going to stay at home with your wife. Every Friday night. It's already on the calendar. It's already scheduled. You already have an appointment for that time, and so you can legitimately refuse involvement in those times and those circumstances because you already have an obligation. Third, guys, limit your late night and early morning work hours. The time that takes you out of the house, takes you away from your family. Limit that time. The world will not stop. God will not fail in His kingdom because you don't show up and spend extra hours late and early, okay? A fourth proactive idea is just don't talk church politics, don't talk church complaints, and don't talk about criticisms you have received at the dinner table. Guys, beware what you share. You might even want to write that down. Beware what you share. Here's why. In my observation, men tend to hear criticism, get mad about it, get over it, and forget it. Women do not. Women hear those critiques as an attack against their family. They find it very, very hard to forgive those things and to forbear with the people who have made thoughtless comments like that. Don't overshare that stuff. Beware what you share, okay? And the fifth proactive step, I would say, is keep confidences in confidence. Don't share confidences. Don't break those ideas. Don't burden your family members with problems about other people that they should not even know about. Don't do that. Just keep it quiet. Maintain the confidences as you should and as you do. So just keep that going. Now, I need to say something else here. You need to understand that some of these lessons I learned the hard way. Yeah, don't let your wife grow to resent your ministry. And don't let your wife grow to resent her own ministry either. Okay? Ministry matters. We really want to do good work for the Lord. And sometimes it's just a question of being a little bit wise and thinking ahead. So take some proactive steps. But guys, remember this. It's your responsibility to take care of your family. Protect your family. Be the shield for your wife against unrealistic expectations by other people. I'd love to hear more from you. If you have something you'd like to share with us about that, that'd be great. In the meantime, God bless you, and remember that ministry always matters. And as always, friends, like, subscribe, and share because ministry matters. And God bless you.